Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's agenda is to discuss about the application of hashing data structure, that is about the Bloom filters in very detail. And after that, uh, with this particular session, our hashing data structure will be completed finally. I hope until whatever we have covered so far, that is the whole module of divide and conquer, and after that we have covered hashing data structure, we already covered arrays, we will discuss some few problems related to arrays also, programming part also. So all these things, I am hoping that it is clear to everyone. But as I already told you, that if you feel like there is something which is pending, then you can let me know. Okay. Basically, this application is just to aware you that there are some important applications which are practically used when it comes to hashing. Okay. So Bloom filter is one of the important application. What will happen when we are doing competitive programming? In competitive programming, if you will see, there are various problems where you need to compare lots and lots of strings. Then in that case, the best approach to be used is hashing. You should use hash function. Why? Because what will happen, uh, let me give you one example. Suppose there is a string named uh, Priya. Okay, there is another string named Ria. Suppose you want to compare these two strings, that whether these two strings are equal or not. Then what will happen usually, if you want to find the best optimized approach in your programming part, see, brute force approach is that just this string length is m, this string length is n, just start traversing from starting index to the end index and just compare it with the second string starting and ending index. Okay, in that particular case, the time complexity might be, you can do some optimizations and will get O of m plus n. But here, when I am talking about the hash function, then what will happen in that particular case? You will calculate the hash function of string Priya. Suppose that hash function came, I am just telling in a layman language so that everyone is able to understand the practical advantage of this hash function data structure. So suppose you are calculating the hash function of this particular string and you will get the hash function as 3, suppose. Then you will calculate the hash function of Ria, and for Ria you will get the hash function as 4. It means you are very sure that these two strings are not equal. And if there is another string where it will be again Priya, so what will happen if you apply the hash function on this particular string Priya, then you will again get the hash function 3. So you are sure, I can't say sure, but you must be thinking like that there might be a case that these two strings are equal to each other. But you are very much sure and certain that Priya and Ria string is not equivalent to each other because their hash functions are different. This is what Bloom filters is doing. How? Let me elaborate more. Let me give you one practical example of Facebook. What will happen in a Facebook? In a Facebook, when you scroll for any keyword, when you search for any keyword, if that search is only one time, means not many times you search that particular keyword, initially when you search, it will go to the, it will fetch, if it's the first time, what will happen, there is a server, it will fetch from that particular server and put it into a cache. I hope this everyone knows. Now suppose that word is something like what should I written here, pro. So suppose this is the word you have written, I don't know, so this is the word pro, or you may written something like amazing. And suppose this word is not that much searched, and what will happen, it will go to the server will put that word into cache. And what will happen, if you are not searching this particular word various times, it will again replace with that particular word in a cache which you used to call many times. This is what happened, no? Either you need to search that particular word again and again so that it will fetch from cache, because in a cache least recently used technique is used. I hope everyone knows the operating system part. So this is the most commonly thing happen. So now how Facebook knows that whether this particular word that it is searching is present or not in a cache. So that's where Bloom filter will come into picture. How? Let me now tell you the concept of Bloom filter. First of all, Bloom filter is a probabilistic data structure which is totally based on hashing, as I already told you. What will happen here? Suppose there are k keys, so it will insert key keys and there will be a lookup. Lookup means it will search for keys k keys and will tell us yes or no. Nothing else will be stored in that particular part. Suppose there are slots from 0th, 1, 2 up to, suppose index is m-1. Okay, so this is the index. Now what will happen? Suppose you are having a string named hello. Then the hash function of this hello string will be calculated. And suppose hash function, let me write this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to m-1. Suppose the hash function of hello came out to be, initially all these values are 0, set to be 0 in case of a Bloom filter. Okay, 0 means no. No means that that particular string is not present. Okay, I hope until now this is clear. Now suppose there is a key named hello. For this particular key there will be some sort of hash function is calculated. After calculating the hash function, suppose the hash function came out to be 3. So it will go to the 3 index and will set it to 1. It means that now I have visited this particular word hello. Now what will happen? It will recalculate the hash function for the next string. For example, next string is filter. And it will get the index as 6. So in that particular case, at 6th place, this particular one is there. Then what will happen after some time? Suppose there will be a hash function which will say hello, not hello. So in that particular case, suppose hash function of this particular string is 10. So you will see that at particular 10th particular location, this is 0. This is reset. So you will be very sure if in that particular case your slot will have 0 value, it means you are very sure that that particular string is not already present. Okay, it is coming to very first time. Now again the hash function of hello is calculated. Again second time this particular string is coming, and this is for sure that if the string is same, then the hash function of that, because hash function is fixed, so the hash function will generate the value as 3. It will go to the 3 and will check, oh, this value is 1. So it will say that this string is already present. So now here, where is the probability came? There are many scenarios where the key is not present. Actually, what will happen at the end of the day, there may be all the ones. There may be all the ones in this particular data structure. So in that particular case, what will happen? There is a probability. We will evaluate the probability of false positives. What do we mean by false positives? It simply means that our result shows that the key is already present, but actually it is not present. This is something which we called as the false positives. So there might be a chance of coming of a false positives, and we used to evaluate the probability of that false positives in a Bloom filter. But yes, this is for very sure. Now there are two situations. Consider. There is a situation where your value came out, you will see, and the value is always already 1. Then you can say that there is a probability, there is a higher probability, your words will be like, there is a higher probability that the string is already visited. But if you search for a string and that particular string is having 0 value, then you will be 100% sure that this particular string is never visited before at all. So this is the main idea behind the Bloom filters data structure. So I hope this theory is clear to everyone. So what I have written here is this only, that Bloom filter is a probabilistic data structure which is totally based on hashing, and it is used to add the elements to a set and check whether the element already present in the set or not. I hope now this line is clear to everyone. Here actually the elements are not added. I haven't added hello or filter or allo. So I haven't added these strings. I have added the hash function of that particular, I have go to the hash value of that particular string. So basically elements are not added to the set, instead hash value of those elements are added, and it will either say that an element is definitely not in the set. This line is very important actually. So in Bloom filters, either it will say that element is definitely not present, means if already there is a value 0, then it means that definitely that element is not present. Or if it is present, then there is a high probability that the element is present in the set. What will happen after 70 and 80% of the time, again it will get reset. Reset meaning all the values will become 0. Okay, so this is how it will work. So in competitive programming, I already told you how it's used. So basically there are two functions which we have seen: insertion of key k, where we used to calculate the hash function, and then we used to see, and there is a lookup. Lookup means searching whether the string is present or not present. Now we need to here calculate the probability of saying yes when k is not present. When key is not present, but our data structures is saying that the key is present. So this is something which we called as the false positive. So if we are using the Bloom filters, which is having m number of bits and k number of hash functions, then overall searching and insertion time will be O of k, and as you know the space complexity, you have seen that we are using m bits, so overall space complexity will be O of m. So this is the thing that I want to tell you, so that you will be able to realize that how hash function is helpful for us, how hashing data structure is helpful for us. So with this we are able to complete our part of hashing data structure. I hope this data structure is clear to everyone. In the very next part, I am starting the programming part. Now what is this programming part? I'll let you know in this video, so that in the very next video I am able to start or progress with you all. In programming part, we will discuss something about what are the static variables. Many people confused here. I don't know why. Whenever output based questions came, they are very confused that what is the static variable. They are confused about something called dynamic scoping and static scoping. I will cover this part also. So basically all the things related to programming means I want to say that after completion of this programming part, if any of the output based question you faced in any of the interviews and in any of the competitive exams, I can say you will be able to answer those things, and that's very important to build our concepts of programming, of data structure algorithm. So we will start with that particular part and will continue few days those things, so that everyone is able to understand everything. And the today's agenda is completed, I think. So I hope that everyone is able to understand everything whatever I told them, and the learning pace is going exponentially. The main point is that you have to believe to yourself that if I have received lot of messages saying that my data structure algorithm part is very weak, ma'am, what should I do? What should I do? So the main point that I want to say here is that firstly believe in yourself, that you are able to be good in that particular part. Then only I will be able to help you out for that. Okay, so you will be very sure, if you will support me, if you will do the practice, then only I am able to help you out. You have to build the confidence level. Okay, so with this I would like to end this particular session. We'll come up with the next video where we will discuss about the programming parts. Bye bye everyone, happy learning to all.